Hi, today I'll be showing you 3 features I like to use in Davinci Resolve Studio 16 when I'm editing my YouTube videos. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have guessed what it is. Let's get started. Okay, so the 3 features that I like to use, and I'm going to show you each of the steps in a minute. But number 1 is output blanking. Number 2, it's the changing mono to stereo audio output. And number 3, changing the native transcoder to NVIDIA encoder. Okay, this saved me a lot of time and it makes my video looks a little bit more professional. All right, let me show you right now. Okay, so the first thing that I do with my YouTube videos when I'm editing with Davinci Resolve 16 Studio is I go to timeline and under that output blanking. So usually I'll set it to 2.0 to 1. So the aspect ratio is 2 to 1. Instead of the regular 1.66, I'll set it to 2.0. And there we go, that's what it looks like. It looks a little bit cinematic. Now sometimes if I want to exaggerate that, I can go all the way to 2.4 to 1, and that's what it looks like. Now make sure you when you do the video recording, you set your frame correctly so that, see, as you can see here, my hair is not cut off and my body is not completely cut off either, so it looks pretty good when I do 2.4 to 1 ratio. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So that's the first thing I like to do to make the video looks better on YouTube. The next thing I want to do as well is that usually when I record my audio through a shotgun mic, you'll notice that, let me check something here, the clip attribute, it's on mono. In other words, I only have one mic recording and it's set to one side of the recording system, so it's mono. So the trick is to set to stereo. So here you click on stereo, and then what you want to do on the right side of the track, set it to the same embed channel 1. So what happened is you're copying the left side to the right side, so now you create an impression that you have a stereo recording system. So that sounds really good. Okay, otherwise you're gonna have just one side that sounds that's going to be only on the left. The audio sound will be only on the left side. Okay, so do that. And then lastly, what I like to do is when I transcode the file, and you notice here is 1080p, but notice the encoder is native. What I'd like to do is switch to my graphic card enabled encoder. This is NVIDIA that I have on my computer system. This will speed up the encoding of this file by 50%. Okay, let me show you right now. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we'll start encoding. Okay, and you can see right here when it's trying to encode this video, if I use native, it'll be only around 50 to 55 frames per second. As you know, here noted here, it's actually 75, 76 frames per second. That's 50% increase in terms of its speed when it's encoding. So that's my 3 little tricks that I like to do on Davinci Resolve 16. Now, of course, you also have the color wheels and that everybody does anyway on it to, you know, color grade the video. But other than that, you know, there's other features on Davinci Resolve 16 Studio that's pretty amazing, like adding grain to your film or your video to simulate film, like the, you know, the film strip, classical film strip. I don't like to do that unless I'm doing short films, but from time to time, just to be creative, I do add a bit of grain in there, especially if it's a low light shot and you see that there's a lot of noise. By adding grains, it kind of give it effect that it's not actually a noise, but rather a grain noise, like film-like noise. Okay? Thanks for watching EducateTube.com.